Hey, English learners! Welcome back to English Voice Podcast, the place where learning English feels simple, natural, and relaxed. I'm Elena.
And I'm Jax. We're really happy you're here with us today. Maybe you're listening while having your morning coffee, walking outside, traveling to work, or just relaxing at home. Wherever you are, thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
If you enjoy learning English with us, don't forget to follow or subscribe to English Voice Podcast and share it with someone who is learning English too. All right, let's jump into today's episode.
Elena, can I ask you something before we start?
Sure.
Have you ever heard someone say, "Shall we go?" or "Shall I help you?" and thought, wait, why shall and not will? And then wondered if shall is just an old-fashioned word that nobody uses anymore, or if it still matters.
Oh, completely. I remember the first time I heard someone say, "Shall I open the window?" And I found it so elegant, but also slightly mysterious. I understood it perfectly, but I could not explain why they said shall and not will. And then would shows up and makes everything feel even more layered. Will, shall, would, they are like three members of the same family who look similar but have very different personalities.
Three members of the same family. I love that. And today we're getting to know all three of them properly, not just as grammar labels, but as living, feeling words that each carry their own character and their own role in English.
So today we're talking about will, shall, and would, three modal verbs that every English learner encounters, but not everyone fully understands. And by the end of this episode, you will not just know when to use each one, you will feel the personality behind each word.
Because when you feel the personality of a word, it stops being a rule and becomes a voice. And that is when English starts to sound truly natural.
Today we have three ideas that will completely change the way you think about will, shall, and would. And Jax, I think our listeners are really going to love the third one.
The third one is the one that stays with you, so please stay with us all the way to the end. Let's begin with idea number one.
Idea number one. Will is the voice of the future. But it is not just any future. Will is the confident future, the decided future, the future that is being declared right now in this moment with certainty and directness.
When you use will, you are stepping into the future with confidence. You are not asking, you are not imagining, you are declaring. I will call you tomorrow. She will finish this by Friday. It will be fine. These sentences carry a feeling of certainty, of forward movement, of someone who knows what is coming and names it clearly.
And will is the modal verb of promises, predictions, and spontaneous decisions. I will help you. A promise made in this moment. It will rain tomorrow. A confident prediction. Oh, I will have the soup. A decision made right now on the spot. In all of these, will steps into the future with energy and confidence.
Will also carries strong determination. I will not give up. She will find a way through this. These sentences sound almost defiant. Will in these moments is not just describing the future, it is insisting on it.
So, the personality of will is confident, direct, forward-moving. It declares, it promises, it predicts, it insists. And once you feel that confidence behind it, you'll reach for it naturally in countless situations.
Now, let's meet shall. And shall is where things get beautifully interesting, because shall is not just a formal version of will. It has its own specific character, its own specific roles, and it is still very much alive in modern English, especially in British English.
Shall is the word of polite offers and gentle suggestions. When you want to offer help or suggest doing something together, shall gives it a soft, considerate, slightly elegant quality. Shall I open a window? Shall we begin? Shall I make us some tea? In all of these, shall is not declaring, it is gently inviting. It is offering softly without pressure.
And this is the key personality difference between will and shall in questions. Compare will I open the window and shall I open the window. Will I open the window sounds like a prediction, maybe a slightly odd question. Shall I open the window sounds like a genuine, considerate offer. Are you warm? Would you like some fresh air? The shall gives it warmth and care.
Shall we is one of the most beautiful and most useful little phrases in English for making gentle suggestions and invitations. Shall we go for a walk? Shall we try that new cafe? Shall we take a different route today? It is inclusive, warm, and slightly playful. It invites rather than commands. It suggests rather than pushes.
And in formal and legal language, shall means something must happen according to rules. The contractor shall complete the work by the agreed date. Payment shall be made within 30 days. Shall here is very firm and very official.
So, the personality of shall is gentle in conversation and firm in formality. It offers, suggests, and invites with warmth. And in official contexts, it carries serious weight. Shall is a word with elegance and precision. It does not replace will. It does something will cannot quite do. It asks rather than tells. It invites rather than declares.
And now, as promised, idea number 3. But first, let's talk about would, because would is perhaps the richest, most layered, and most beautiful of these 3 words.
Idea number 2. Would is the word of the imagined, the polite, and the remembered. And those 3 territories together give would an incredible range and depth.
Would for the imagined. This is the hypothetical would, the conditional would, when you are imagining something that is not real right now, something that might happen under different circumstances, something in a parallel version of the world. Would is your companion.
If I had more time, I would travel everywhere. If money were no concern, I would spend a year just writing. In all of these, would lives in imagined space. It says, in this alternative world, this is what would happen. Not what will happen, what would happen.
And would for the polite. This is would as the softer, more courteous version of will. Would you like some help? Would you mind closing the door? I would like a coffee, please. Would you be able to send me that? In these sentences, would wraps the request in softness. It takes the directness of will and replaces it with something gentler, more respectful, more considerate.
Compare, do you want help? And would you like some help? The second is warmer, more considerate. Would you like is one of the most useful phrases in polite English. It offers without pressuring, asks without demanding.
And would for the remembered. This is would as the word of repeated past actions, things you did regularly in the past, habits and patterns that belonged to an earlier time in your life. When I was a child, I would spend every summer at my grandmother's house. He would always bring flowers when he visited. She would sing to herself while she cooked. This would carries a warmth, a nostalgia, a tenderness toward the past.
I want to share something personal. When I think about my grandmother, I always use would. She would wake up before anyone else. She would make breakfast for the whole family. She would sit by the window with her tea and look outside quietly. Would does not just say these things happened. It says these things were her pattern, her rhythm, and somehow that feels more tender.
So the personality of would is layered and rich, imagined possibilities in conditional sentences, polite, considerate requests and offers, and remembered patterns from a past that was real and warm and worth keeping close. Would is the most emotionally complex of these 3 words, and that complexity is a gift.
And now, as promised, idea number 3. The one we have been building toward. Are you ready?
Tell them, Elena.
Idea number 3. Stop thinking of will, shall, and would as 3 versions of the same thing. Start meeting them as 3 distinct voices, each with its own character, its own emotional tone, its own way of moving through time.
because once you know the voice behind each word, you will hear it everywhere. In books, in films, in conversations, in songs. And hearing it is what makes it yours.
Will is the confident voice, direct, forward, certain. It declares and promises. It does not hesitate. It steps forward.
Shall is the gentle voice. It offers and invites. Shall I? Shall we? It does not push. It opens a door and waits.
Would is the layered voice. It imagines, softens requests, remembers with warmth. This voice lives in more than one world at once, the real and the imagined, the present and the past.
I want to tell you about a listener who wrote to us. His name is Omar, and he wrote from Egypt. He said he had been using will for everything, every future sentence, every request, every imagined scenario, because will felt safe. Will felt like the English future, and that felt like enough.
And then a British colleague said, "Shall we grab coffee after the meeting?" And Omar noticed something. The phrase felt warm, inclusive, inviting. He realized, "Will we grab coffee?" would have sounded completely different, more like a question about whether it would happen. "Shall we?" was an invitation, a gentle, open door.
And then he started noticing would everywhere. In polite emails, "Would you be able to send me?" In stories, she would wait for him every evening. In conversations about dreams, "I would love to visit one day." Each time, would was doing something different, something that will simply could not do in the same moment.
He tried something small. For 2 weeks he kept a notebook. Whenever he heard will, shall, or would in English, he wrote down the sentence and next to it one word. What was the voice doing, declaring, inviting, imagining, softening, remembering?
He wrote to us a few weeks later and said, "I used shall we in a real conversation for the first time. Shall we look at this together?" And my colleagues smiled and said, "Yes, let's." Omar said it was such a small thing, but the right word had made the moment feel a little warmer. He said it felt like a small door had quietly opened.
That story gives me chills every single time. So, here is your permission. Notice the voices. Will, confident and declaring. Shall, gentle and inviting. Would, layered and warm. When you hear them in a film, a podcast, a message from a friend, stop for 1 second and ask, which voice is speaking? Let the answer build your instinct quietly every day.
Okay, let's take a gentle pause now and do our word tour, a calm, quiet walk through some of the words and phrases from today.
Just a few, slowly, so they settle into you.
First word, declare. To state something clearly and with confidence. Will is the word of declaration. For example, she declared that she would not change her decision, and everyone in the room believed her. Declare. Declare.
Next word, invite. To ask someone gently to do something or to join you. Shall has this inviting quality. It opens a door without pushing. For example, he invited her to join the project, and she accepted immediately. Invite. Invite.
Next word, hypothetical. Imagined, not real, based on a situation that is not currently true. Would lives in hypothetical space. For example, it was a hypothetical question, but it made everyone think. Hypothetical. Hypothetical.
Next word, considerate. Thinking carefully about other people's feelings. Would, in polite requests, is considerate. It softens and respects. For example, she was always considerate about how she phrased difficult things. Considerate. Considerate.
Next word, nostalgia. A warm, slightly sad feeling of remembering something good from the past. Would, for repeated past actions, carries nostalgia. For example, The smell of that bread filled her with nostalgia for her grandmother's kitchen. Nostalgia. Nostalgia.
And our last word, determination. A firm, strong commitment to something. Will, at its most powerful, carries determination. For example, she faced every obstacle with quiet determination and never once gave up. Determination. Determination.
6 words today: declare, invite, hypothetical, considerate, nostalgia, and determination. Try to use one of them this week, even in your head, even in a sentence you write before you sleep, because a word you use is a word you keep.
And a word you only hear passes through you like wind, but a word you feel, a word you connect to a real moment in your life, that word becomes yours forever.
Okay, now it is your turn, and this is our favorite part of every episode.
Yes, because now the conversation belongs to you.
Here is your challenge. Write 3 sentences, one for each of our 3 voices. One sentence using will to declare or promise something. One sentence using shall to make a gentle offer or suggestion, and one sentence using would, either imagining something, making a polite request, or remembering something from your past with warmth.
Do not worry about making them perfect. Just find the voice behind each word and let it speak. Confident and direct for will, gentle and open for shall, layered and warm for would.
For example, I will finish reading this book by the end of the week. Shall I make us both a cup of tea before we continue? And when I was younger, I would read for hours without noticing that time had passed.
Or, I will speak more English this week, even when it feels difficult. Shall we try a new cafe this Saturday and see what we think? And my father would whistle the same song every morning while he made breakfast, and I still hear it sometimes when the kitchen is quiet.
That last one made me feel something very tender. And notice how would in that sentence did not just say he whistled. It said he always whistled. It was his rhythm, his pattern, his particular warmth. Would carries all of that in 2 small letters.
So please write your 3 sentences in the comments. Make them real. Make them yours. And notice which voice you are using as each word leaves you.
And to know, when you write your comment, you are not just practicing grammar. You are sending a small piece of your real self out into a community doing the same quiet, brave daily work, learning a language, trying gently every day.
And your sentences might be exactly what another learner needs today. Someone who has been using will for everything and never felt the warmth of shall or the depth of would. And then they read yours and something shifts. Oh, there are 3 voices here.
One honest sentence gives permission to 100 quiet hearts.
Before we close today, thank you for listening all the way to this moment. That is not a small thing.
And to anyone who has been using will for everything and felt that something was slightly missing, it was not your English. You just had not met shall and would fully yet. Now you have. And now you have 3 voices, where before you only had 1.
Will for the confident declaration, shall for the gentle invitation, would for the imagined, the polite, and the warmly remembered. 3 voices, 3 personalities, all yours now.
Language with more than one voice is language that truly connects.
If this episode helped you even a little, please give it a like, subscribe to English Voice Podcast, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Your support helps this little podcast reach more learners, and every new listener is one more person who feels a little less alone in this journey.
Until next time, take care of your English and take care of yourselves. This was English Voice Podcast. I'm Elena.
And I'm Jax. We will see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.